This one does get very hot, so beware of that. We have a gravity-fed steam system, so you want to make sure that's on. Standard direction to open and close. And when you're going to use the steam burst, it's just a quick tap, maybe every 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. If you hold down on the steam button, you will get a gigantic steam explosion that can actually shoot out 3 or 4 feet and be a hazard to people working on either side. Ta-da! And then remember to turn it off when you're done. You can see we had an issue here. There used to be a high temperature silicone pad over the wood. There is no more. So we'll come back to this for the straight stitch class, but not for the serger. Our machines in the shop, you can see we've got 50 stitches available. The bottom 30 here are all decorative embroidery, but sometimes they're exactly what you need. We've also got buttonhole stitches, zigzag, blind hem, stretch stitches, pretty much everything you could want in a sewing machine. And of course, you guys will remember this, the best buttonhole foot ever. This one's really great because all you do is install the foot, install the button in the foot, select your stitch, press the go button pretty much, and it does everything for you. It will get the length, the width, everything adjusted. And there is even a way to stitch on the buttons themselves on this machine, so that's a fantastic time saver. The disadvantage to this machine is it's mostly plastic, which means you're going to be a little limited in capacity. We'll max out on this machine at high velocity. It may be 4 layers of denim like the jeans. If you're good at easing through thick spots, you can maybe take it up to 8 very, very carefully, but that's going to be about it. So for heavier stuff, the industrial wall is going to be the place to go. Usually next up would be the embroiderer. Usually lives over here. Right now it's in use. Fantastic machine over there. You can use some of the stock designs. There's 100 stock designs in the machine. Or you can design your own file on a computer, plug it in a USB stick, press the go button, and it stitches it out for you. Again, the plastic machine, so if you're doing high volume runs, it's not going to be the best. But runs maybe up to 20 or a single interesting piece, definitely worth the time and effort. This one is the quilting machine, which is currently disassembled. It will get put back together or replaced eventually. Not sure which yet. But you can do a king-size quilt on here for actually stitching the 50 layers together. And there's 3 methods of operation. Driving from this side, you just trace directly onto the quilt. Standing over here, you use a laser pointer to trace out your design. And we have a CNC attachment. Press the go button and watch it stitch. I love that. This one's the bottom one for the quilting machine only, so it may disappear if you use the quilting machine, it needs a different pointer. But that's all that. We've got our magical drawer of mysteries that has who knows what, pins, chalk, pizza wheels, file cutters. You never know what's going to be in here, but there's usually good stuff. At least scissors and pins and devices should be in there. And then going down this wall, this is the industrial wall. Everything here is a lot more robust, a lot more high speed. Also maybe a little less user-friendly, but we'll have that covered by the end of the day today. So the serger is going to be used for trimming the edge of the fabric and then binding it up with 3 or 4 stitches. And of course, that's what we'll be looking at. The straight stitch here and the walking foot are pretty similar machines, and they have a pretty similar function. These are both straight stitch only for the back, but they're very robust and very fast. The straight stitch here, single needle, what should I call it now? This is called the straight stitch or single needle, either way. It has a slightly higher top speed, and we've also got the tension configured for lighter weight fabrics at this point. You can still use it on heavier fabrics, but you need to readjust stuff a bit. And then the walking foot over here. The main difference here is you've got the center part of the foot moving along with the dog teeth. That's what gives it the name walking foot. So most sewing machines is just the dog teeth driving your fabric. The walking foot, the fabric is driven top and bottom, moving together, so your slithery layers are going to stay more in alignment, or if you have a big stack of layers. For capacity, this one can ostensibly do up to ½ inch of leather. I haven't actually seen it go through that much, but I have seen it go through about ½ inch, and it didn't even blink. It was so easy.
I could do belts, like leather belts.
You can do archery quivers, yeah.
Cool, I'm into that too.
Does the walking foot leave a mark on the leather?
It can, but there's a way to adjust the height of the foot so you can avoid that pretty much. Also, the dog teeth are only on the bottom. It's a smooth stripe at the top, so you can minimize damage that. Alright, so there's the basic tour. Questions? Alright, let's jump into the serger. I guess we need more chairs. This room is just features that I'm going to talk about here at the beginning and also as we go through class. The first of those is all of these machines have a very large flywheel in the motor, which means when you power down the machine, that flywheel is still spinning, there's still charge, and you can actually run over your finger while the machine is off. So when you turn the machine off to work on underneath the needle or anything in the inner workings, still make sure your feet are clear of the pedal, everybody else's feet are clear of the pedal, and there's no possibility that somebody's going to accidentally step on it and slice your finger off for you. There is a way to discharge that motor, but I find it's easier to just always assume the machine is live. You'll feel it's very, very stiff. If you press partway down on the pedal, you get kind of a clutch function. The handle loosens up, but the machine is not running. Press further down, you get the accelerator. So that's going to be possibly the hardest part of learning today, is getting the feel of the clutch position. Anybody here not driven a stick shift? Do I need to go over a clutch? Okay, great. That makes things easier. So we're going to start out just powering the machine on. This light is integrated with the machine's power. If you need more light, we've got these little black movable things. Feel free to put them wherever you need them to be. Eventually we'll have better overhead lighting, but in the meantime we've just got these guys. So you can see we've got quite the home motor. Basic use here is super duper easy once you've got it all threaded and configured. You don't have to actually lift up the foot, presser foot, but if you want to, this is black pedal down here. But most of the time for surgery, you can just run the fabric up against the edge of the presser foot and it will get sucked in and do its thing. And you can see I am trimming off a small portion of the fabric and binding it up. Run out a tail long enough to use the thread cutter that's built in here. That will leave enough chain behind that it's not going to unwind and end up undoing your threading. So this one I was stretching the fabric a bit as I went through, and you can see I've got kind of a scallopy finish to it. There's another thing you can adjust that will do that for you if you want to gather or stretch. So we'll look at that a little bit today. Probably won't have time to play with it, but I'll talk you through it. So for starting out, let's just destroy a piece of fabric a little bit. I want each of you to get a bit of a feel for the pedal. So, oh yes, I should talk about the hand wheel a little bit. The hand wheel on a serger is backwards from most machines. Most sewing machines, you turn the wheel towards you. This one, you turn it away. And for all of these industrial machines, there is an arrow showing you the hand wheel direction, which I've traced out in red, just because the serger is so backwards. So what I'd like you to do is just get yourself in position. Try turning the hand wheel a little bit. You'll feel how stiff it is. And then I want you to just take a couple of lines of stitching using the foot pedal and kind of get the feel for it. Once you're comfortable with the foot pedal, try finding that clutch position, because we'll be needing that later in class. So let me just demonstrate that. Feel the hand wheel stiff. Stitch down a little bit. All right, I'm feeling like I've got good control.
It cuts off the whole thing that you're not working.
Yeah.
Wherever you start is what it does.
Yeah, this is the knife right here.
Okay,
so keep your fingers clear of the knife also. So now that I'm feeling comfortable with the speed, I'm going to try turning my hand wheel still stiff, push down just enough until the hand wheel loosens. And you can see that it almost gets kind of springy in there when you're at the clutch position. Once
Because
you've done that,
the clutch position is you're holding the pedal down just
a little bit. Yeah. So then just go back and forth until you feel comfortable finding that clutch position. And finish up your line. And there we go. Oops.
I don't see where the thread cutter is.
It's this
Oh,
little
it's
black
out there.
doohickey.
Okay. But you need to leave that tail in the back of the...
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely take scissors and trim it, but you're still going to want to leave a little bit of chain here just to keep everything where it needs to be. So, who's up first?
Oh, no.
Now, it's going to feel very different steering this machine than a basic sewing machine. Do remember to keep your fingers clear of the knife and the needles.
So how do you make it so that it doesn't, you know, when you have really stretchy fabric, it doesn't kind of go off to the side?
Practice.
Okay.